So yun na, I was ready and right to be a sexy actress.
Pero lumaban ka pa sa, sa Miss Universe?
I went to the Miss Universe pageant. Kaya alam, montik na ako madethrone. Kasi
Paano?
Hindi naman madethrone. Pinagre-resign nila ako. Secretly, tinawag nila ako after I won kasi lumabas na yung so many chismis na hindi ka de buen de pamilya. Kahit graduate ako ng UP, it doesn't cover up for the fact na sexy model ka. Yeah, so tinawag nila ako.
Sino to? Sino kumausap sa'yo?
Si Philip Yago, yung organizer ng Binibining Pilipinas Charities. Sabi niya sa akin, marami na masyadong controversy na lumabas, marami ng issues na lumabas. So I think mas maganda na it's better for you to just resign para you're gonna be a hero, para maging you're gonna appear like a hero, para mag-die down na itong mga controversies na ito.
Anong ginawa mo?
Ang ginawa ko, sabi ko, bakit ako magre-resign? Binigay sa'yo to eh. Hindi ko naman hinagaw to or hiningi. It was given to me. So bakit mo isusoli yung corona?
Narito po tayo ngayon sa Quezon City, sa lugar kung saan naninirahan ang veteranang aktres at dating beauty queen na si Maria Isabel Lopez. Marami ho tayong pag-uusapan, kabilang na ang mga kontrobersyang kanyang kinasangkutan. Pero bago yan, subscribe muna kayo sa aking channel at sa Christine Babos channel. Okay, dito tayo. Hello.
Hi, I'm John.
Hi, John. Nice to meet you, Julius.
Hi. Isabel's be down in a minute.
All right.
Come on in.
Okay. Oh my gosh, dito ka. How are you? Long time no see. Hello.
Oh my God, ready na? Hindi ko naman alam na kasama ako sa...
Sama ka na.
This is
Sama
my
ka na.
husband, Chandler.
Hi, Chandler. Nice to meet you.
The family. Oh my God, I wish I fixed myself a little bit. But...
Oo. Kamusta ka na? How are you?
We're off to our wedding next weekend.
Wow, congratulations.
Thanks.
Where is this?
El Nido.
Wow.
Exciting. That's why everyone's
Nice. Oo. Si Mara, dito naka-base sa Philippines.
Si Mara naka-base sa New York.
New York ka na.
Yeah, and she still does her acting and theater job in the US. Yeah. Kaya lang, we just came home kasi they want an island destination wedding.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anong love story yung dalawa? Saan mo na-meet ang iyong husband?
American.
Where did you guys meet?
Oh, that's a good question. I'll let my wife
We met
respond.
online.
Online?
Yes, alam mo naman
Okay.
kami. We're like millennials.
Oo nga.
Yeah. I was based in the Philippines and I have a sister in Sacramento. And she put my profile online in a website called Match.com.
I didn't realize that she was a film celebrity. So when we first got here, we stopped at Robinson Magnolia so I could go to the bathroom. And I came out and there were a line of 50 people taking selfies. So I said, what's up with all this going on? And that's when she said, well, I have this other career, which is I'm a film actress. And I had been Miss Philippines. But she was very humble about it all.
Sige. Mga painting mo to.
Ito, hindi. Ginawa ito ng fans. Binigay sa akin to. Cover to ng isang magazine. Tapos ginawa niya ako ng portrait.
Wow.
Yeah. Tapos ito, mga portraits na nag-post ako.
Saturday group.
Oo. Ikaw, alam mo yan. Oo. Ito naman, mga paintings na collections ko from artists. Ito, gawa ni, Lani Lubanco.
Yung artista dati.
Oo. Yeah, si Lani. Tapos ito naman, itong my old works. This is 1990.
Painting mo yan?
Painting ko to.
Lovers.
Yeah. Under the Sea.
Ikaw to?
Ito si Mara to. Ito yan ako
Mara
sa
yan.
kanan. Yeah. Ito naman gawa ni Red Belleza.
Oo, mga clowns, no?
Yeah. Yung ibang artworks ko, kasi glass ang gusto ko ipakita. I-send ko sa iyo sa kay Beng. Send ko sa Messenger.
Sige. Uy, ito yung mga picture mo no?
Ito yung picture ko nung Naku, grabe. We're talking about 40 plus years. Kaya nakita mo faded na.
Oo.
Tapos yung gumawa ako ng poster for UTEX.
Sexy.
Oo. Ayan, artwork ko din nung nasa Fine Arts pa ako, yung brown na yan.
Ito. Plate mo to?
Yeah. Ano yan, plate ko yan sa UP Fine Arts nung estudyante pa ako.
Ito yung mga picture nyo, no?
Tapos ayan pa yung binibini.
Oo. Ayan,
Yan sa right.
Parang iba itsura mo rito,
Bata pa ako niyan.
Oo.
Ano lang ako niyan, ilang taon ako niyan, 24 years old.
Grabe.
Yeah. Tanda ko na, Julius.
How young are you?
67.
Oh, wow.
3 taon na lang, 70 na ako.
Ikaw to?
Ako yan.
Ang ganda mo. Natural beauty ka talaga, no?
Oo, nung bata pa ako.
Ganda talaga eh. Sayang naman to nasira na.
Oo nga eh.
Wala ka nung Gerard Peter ka?
Meron ako. Send ko sa iyo lahat.
Sige, send mo lahat.
Send ko lahat yung nasa entablado ko ng Gerard Peter, kung ano yung costume ko. Yung bikini na see-through pa. Okay, ito naman. Ito yung first trophy ko nung manalo ako ng Binibining Pilipinas. Ito, Ito yung trophy ko as Binibining Pilipinas. Tapos ngayon, papakita ko naman sa iyo. Nasundan niya ng medyo ironic. Nasundan niya nito. Alam mo yung magazine na Jingle Extra, ha?
Yes, oo.
Ito, most popular female bold star. Pero mo napaka-ironic. Unang-una mo, Binibining Pilipinas, tapos yung sunod kong trophy.
Bold star na?
Oo, most popular female bold star. Ito, nanalo ako sa Kinatay, sa Empress Golden Screen Awards.
Yeah.
Nanalo ako ng Best Supporting Actress.
Wow, congrats.
Yeah. Tapos ito, nanalo din ako ng Cinema One, Best Supporting Actress for another film called Lorna. Sa Cinema One naman to. Tapos ito, isa naman to sa mga features ko nung nung bata pa ako, nung candidate ako, official candidate.
Nice.
Yeah. Yung,
ano yung sash na yan? Yan yung mismo yung sash mo?
Sash yan, nung nasa Miss Philippines ako.
Sumali ka?
Oo, the rest, mga plaque of appreciation, mga Gawad Tanglaw Awards.
Oo.
Yan.
Ito yung anak kong lalaki?
Yan yung anak kong lalaki, mga bata pa sila. Yeah.
Nakikita pa rin kayo lagi?
Oo, uuwi siya for the wedding. Ayan yung nasa Cannes Film Festival ako.
Anong movie to?
Kinatay.
Ay, Kinatay.
Oo.
Kay Coco Martin din to, di ba?
Yan si Coco yan.
Oo.
Yan si Coco tsaka ako.
Oo.
Kaya nga, di ba sabi ko sa iyo.
Hindi ka mo kinukuha ni Coco?
Hindi kasi ako tumagal dito. Oo, pero kung tatagal ako dito, I'll probably work with him.
Oh, so ayaw mo tumagal.
So in other words, ito yung movie ko na 50 years old na ako, nakatopless pa rin ako.
Oh. Ito yan, Kinatay.
Oo, Kinatay yan. Yung pinalabas sa Cannes Film Festival.
Ito, ano to?
Ayan yung property namin sa Sebastopol.
Oo.
Yun, nagkaroon kami ng yung Sonoma Home.
Oh, Sonoma Home. Yeah.
Oo. Finiture nila yung bahay namin, tsaka yung mga art exhibits ko.
This is your wedding photo?
Yeah.
You're invited to come stay with us.
Oh, wow. Thank you. When we're there, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
We have a separate guest house.
Beautiful guest house.
Nice. Thank you. Guys, kasama na natin ang isa sa mga icons ng pelikulang Pilipino, ang ating kaibigan, Miss Maria Isabel Lopez. Isabel, thank you, ha. Thank you sa pag-imbita sa amin sa napakagandang bahay. Sa Pilipinas. Kasi nakatira ka na sa abroad, di ba?
Yeah, pero umuwi lang ako pagka may projects.
Kamusta ang buhay mo sa abroad?
Ang buhay ko abroad is, syempre, we live in the wine country. So, kumbaga, Sonoma County. So, surrounded ka ng mga trees. It's very peaceful life. Madidinig mo yung huni ng ibon. Tapos maraming animals na pumapasok sa property namin. May raccoons, may fox, may squirrels, may skunks, ganon. Tapos I get to do occasionally mga short films pa din.
Nag-artista ka pa rin
Yes,
doon?
nag-artista ako. I just did another short film naman na horror. Tapos doon may audition. Parang dito rin may audition. So I get to travel to LA to do a short film. Meron akong huling ginawa. Tapos I fly to New York to do another short film. Ganon.
American ng nito, producers?
American film directors, mga American producers, American crew, cast, gano'n.
So it's good na nagagawa mo pa rin yung first love mo talaga.
Yes, nagagawa ko pa rin. Plus, of course, my art. Alam mo naman, fine arts graduate ako ng UP, kaya I still get to do something creative.
Alright, ako, I'm sure maraming mga viewers tayo ang interested na malaman ang history ng buhay mo. Kasi dito sa ating channel.
Pretty much, my life has been an open book naman eh.
Pero may mga bagong generation tayo na mga viewers na hindi alam yung kwentong ito.
Yung mga millennials.
Please refresh their memories, our memories. Beauty queen ka, di ba?
Yeah, pero bago ako naging beauty queen, kung baga, hindi ba may mga artista na nagdi-discover nila sa inutusan lang daw bumili ng suka, pagbalik, sexy star na. Sa case ko naman, I was a sexy model in a fashion modeling group. It's called the Gerard Peter Models.
Yes.
Way back noong dekada 80, it's actually a fashion show of lingeries and bikinis, mga see-throughs. Yeah, so it's basically entertainment for men. Yeah. So I was on that modeling group nang dumating yung isang designer na si Rudy Fuentes. Nakita niya ako doon, binigyan niya ako ng calling card. Tapos ngayon, he got in touch with me. And sabi niya, ipapasok daw niya ako sa Binibining Pilipinas. And then sabi ko, paano ako mananalo dyan? Sexy model ako. Sabi niya, hindi natin sasabihin. Pero paano mo namang hindi sasabihin? Look, yung mga nanonood ng Gerard Peter Models, like si Ariel Ureta, the host, siya yung nanonood ng Gerard Peter. Yung mga sponsors namin sa Binibining Pilipinas charities like Mitsubishi, Coca-Cola, sponsors ng Binibini, nanonood ng mga shows namin sa Gerard Peter, so how can you hide it? Yeah, so lumabas na yung year ko was very scandalous. Kasi first time sa history ng Binibining Pilipinas charities, na yung beauty queen nila, hindi de buende pamilya, isang balik-balik girl na coming from the ranks of this sexy modeling group. So my year became very controversial.
So bago ka napiling Binibining Pilipinas Universe, pinag-uusapan na ba yun? May hype na, sinasabi, ano yan, Gerard Peter yan?
Meron na mga behind the questions, mga behind the scene na questionable character ako. Ganon. Tapos, may mga candidates din na pinapasaringan ako. Na kasi nung initial palang interview, lahat sila naka-swimsuit na one piece. Nung araw one piece ngayon two piece na. Ako lang yung candidate na ang swimsuit, tanga talaga. Talagang kita. In fact, nag-shave pa nga kami to wear that swimsuit. Ako lang yung
ikaw naglakas na loob.
Kasi yun lang naman ang swimwear ko eh. Kinuha ko yung costume ko sa fashion show, yun ang sinuot ko sa mga initial interview. Di ba they give mga major awards like best mga Miss Sunsilk, mga Miss best in shampoo. Nalaman nila na I'm supposed to have a special award. Hindi nila binigay kasi yung sponsor, nalaman na rin na galing ako sa ganun. Baka ma-disqualify ako.
Wala kang ganun.
Baka ma-disqualify ako, kaya hindi nila binigay sa akin yung mga special awards.
So what made you win? Ano naging asset mo dun?
I guess, it was the year na Teche Agbayani post for Playboy. So, meron parang, kumbaga, revival ng pagiging women's lib yung year na yan. It was also the year na marami tayong guardian of morals. Kasi nga, there's this woman na tinira niya si Teche Agbayani for modeling on Playboy. Her name is Polly Cayetano. Tapos ngayon, yun yung year na ang tao medyo, yung pagiging repressed nila, medyo nag-open up na sila, nagiging medyo, hindi na sila masyadong uptight. Yeah. So siguro I was very outspoken and siguro I won also because majority ng board of judges were foreigners. Yeah. So yung beauty ko is pang foreigner, sabi nila. Tapos the way I answered questions, it's parang a woman who's very much ahead of her time.
Do you still remember yung question sa'yo and yung answer mo dun sa question?
Yeah, may mga closed door questions. They were very daring also. Yung sila Rita Gomez, for example, do you believe in virginity? Are you a virgin? Yun ang mga tanong. Yan, sagot ko, no. Alam ka naman sabihin kong yes. Hindi ba, tinatanong ka, alam ka naman mag-pretend ka pa, di ba? Tapos, do you believe in premarital sex? Sagot ko, yes.
Oh my.
Yeah. So, tuwan-tuwa sila sa akin.
So, nakapuntos yung gano'ng mga sagot, ha? Obviously, di ba?
Siguro natuwa lang sila sa personality ko. Kasi hindi naman ako nandun na to try hard to win, magpa-clean image.
Nagpakatotoo ka lang.
I was just being myself.
Tama.
Yeah.
Pero nung nasa stage ka na, ano yung tanong sa'yo? Di ba may mga nagtatanong ng mga judge, di ba?
Yeah, yung judge ko noon, si Alphonse Muson, the well-known jazz musician. Yeah, he was in the Philippines that time. So, ang question niya sa akin is, do you believe in going Dutch? Dutch Street, kanya-kanyang bayan. Sabi ko, ang sagot ko naman is, why not? It's already 1982. It's about time that women now learn independence, how to be on their own. Yun ang sagot ko.
Wow.
Siyempre, ang Pilipina, pag i-date mo, kinakailangan, gastusan mo yan, di ba? Ako, naniniwala ako na pwede ka mag-KKB, di ba?
Iba sagot mo.
Oo.
Para sa panahon na yan.
Para ka namang hindi broke, di ba?
So, palakpakan.
Well, happy lang sila. They were just smiling. Yeah. Pero I have to make this clear na nung coronation night, right before the Binipining Pilipinas went on the air, tinawag nila ako backstage. It was a room full of the Board of Judges. Tinawag nila ako for questioning. Pagpasok kong ganito, naka Maria Clara costume pa ako, kaya parang very ironic na ang question sa akin are very daring. Pagpasok kong ganon, ang tanong sa akin is, Maria Isabel Lopez, Rita Gomez was asking, we have heard talks that you model for these so-called bold fashion shows. What do you wear? Hindi kinabahan na ako noon. Ang sagot ko, one piece, two piece, and lingeries. But the material is not very flimsy. Pinagtatanggol ko yung sarili ko. Tapos sabi nga nito, do you have any nude photographs? Di sabi ko naman, ting! Baka nga naman meron, ano? Inisip ko, sabi ko, wala akong nude photographs. Except meron, sabi ko, I have one which I was wearing a robe which is like, just tied down in the waist. Yeah, I have photos like that. But nothing in the nude. Pero bago ko sinagot yun, sabi ng isang judge, you better tell us the truth now because these things are coming out in the papers tomorrow. Sabi ko, bakit things are coming out in the papers tomorrow? Sabi ko, baka may laban kaya ako or what?
Bakit gano'n?
So sinabi ko, I don't have any nude photographs. Tapos sabi nila, that's all, Miss Lopez. So paglabas ko ng judge's room, wow, parang gumuho yung mundo ko. Parang a feeling ko na judge ako. Tapos I was just making an honest living. Tapos parang ang dilim-dilim ng paningin ko. And then one candidate told me, Isabel, I think the reason they questioned you is because you have an edge. So if I were you, you fight. That was Joni Feliciano, the jazz singer. Pagkatapos ngayon, when I got out of the, yung production number na, parang walang nangyari. I gave it my best performance.
So that happened during that night?
That happened, siguro mga minutes before we go on the air. Meron ako special question.
So parang may prejudgment na? Parang gano'n? Parang pinipili na nila kung sino?
Meron kasing prejudging. Before the coronation night, meron ng prejudging. We're being questioned one by one. Tapos pinipwesto na lang yan. On how you perform on stage. Yeah, pero meron na silang parang
may listahan na.
Meron na silang listahan ng possible top 10 or possible top 12, top 5, gano'n. Yeah.
So, nung finally, ikaw nang in-announce na Binibining Pilipinas Universe.
Well, my life has changed.
Pero anong reaction mo? Anong feeling mo?
Siyempre,
nagulat ka ba?
Nagulat ako. Pero I was also hoping that time, kasi nga, bakit ako questionin? Kasi pwede naman ako i-eliminate, tapos eh. Wag mo nala ako panalunin, tapos. If you have those alinlangan about me na medyo questionable yung character mo dahil sexy model ka, you just don't make me win.
So parang in-expect mo na yan?
In-expect ko, bakit pinapatawag pa? Bakit nag-e-effort pa kayo patawag ako for extra questioning? Yeah.
So, nung in-announce na ikaw yun,
anong
pakiramdam? Happy?
Pakiramdam ko happy, pero in the back of my mind, pakiramdam ko lagot. This is going to be a lot of questions.
At yun nga nangyari?
Yun nga nangyari. Yeah.
Ano mga sumunod na mga issue?
Basta lumabas na yung mga press release na nakalagay doon, lumabas yung isang journalist, si Arthur Sales, ang title ng article niya, April in May. I was crowned in May, ang alias name ko is April. Hindi ako gumagamit ng real name when I was modeling on those.
April lang name mo?
April lang gamit ko. Kaya ang headline niya, April in May.
Wow.
Tapos yun, lumabas na yung news na I was, alam mo naman ang Pilipino, mahilig sa chismis, mahilig sa intriga, mahilig sa controversy. So that one, I capitalized on that for a flourishing movie career. Nung dumating ang offer ng Viva Films, ang in-offer kaagad nilang packaging is a sexy actress. So yun na, I was ready and ripe to be a sexy actress.
Pero lumaban ka pa sa Miss Universe?
I went to the Miss Universe pageant. Kaya alam, montik na ako madethrone. Kasi
paano?
Hindi naman ma-dethrone. Pinagre-resign nila ako. Secretly, tinawag nila ako after I won kasi lumabas na yung so many chismis na hindi ka de buwende pamilya. Kahit graduate ako ng UP, it doesn't cover up for the fact na sexy model ka. Yeah, so tinawag nila ako.
Sino to? Sino kumausap sa'yo?
Si Philip Yago, yung organizer ng Binibining Pilipinas Charities. Sabi niya sa akin, marami na masyadong controversy na lumabas, marami ng issues na lumabas. So I think mas maganda na it's better for you to just resign para you're gonna be a hero, para maging you're gonna appear like a hero, para mag-die down na itong mga controversies na ito.
Anong ginawa mo?
Ang ginawa ko, sabi ko, bakit ako magre-resign? Binigay sa'yo to eh. Hindi ko naman hinagaw to or hiningi. It was given to me. So bakit mo isusoli yung corona? Ang ginawa namin, alam mo ano? Nagpa-press con kami.
Tinira nyo?
Nagpa-press con kami na pinag-resign ako na ang ginagawa nila ganito na parang a woman with a dark past na hindi ka karapat-dapat, na hindi ka worthy. Nagpa-press con ako and out of that press con, na-hype siya, na-magnify. Then came the telephone call from Viva Films. Oh, it's a movie offer. Yeah, so I use it to my advantage.
Pero, nung hindi ka nag-resign, obviously, no?
Hindi ako nag-resign.
Pero lumaban ka pa sa Miss Universe.
Yeah,
hindi ka nila pinigilan.
Hindi.
Pinabayaan ka lang.
Pinabayaan nila ako. Pero, pinigilan ako in other ways. Every time I interview ako, lagi ako may bantay sa lakay. Lagi may 2 staff dyan.
Filtered, lagi.
Takot sila na kung anong mga sabihin ko. Kasi,
parang ikaw lang yata ang Binibining Pilipinas na gano'n. Na binantayan ng husto.
Binantayan ako ng husto. Tapos, nung may offer ako na whiskey commercial, yung sasakay ka ng white horse, na nakabikini ka ng red, bigla nilang sinabi na huwag ka magbikini. They're stopping me from wearing mga plunging necklace kasi nga na-identify ka na sexy model. Gusto nila close neck. Tal feeling ko kinakahon nila ako. I wasn't being myself. You know, I won because I was myself. Tapos ngayon, now that I have the title, they don't want me to be myself. So mahirap naman yung ganun.
Pero paglaban mo sa abroad, sinuportahan ka ba nila?
Sinuportahan naman
okay
ako.
Naman.
Okay naman. I was able to represent the country well. I didn't win any major award, pero I had high scores naman sa swimsuits.
Pero nakaranas ka raw ng discrimination doon?
Yeah.
While you were in Peru?
No, it's not like me na na-discriminate, pero nakita ko doon yung racism.
Paano?
Kasi nakita ko yung mga black candidates na yung unang-unang nagka-nervous breakdown doon si Miss Turks and Caicos. Yeah, yung nakaranas ng mga racism. Tapos when we were at the parang Malacanang Palace ng Peru, we went to the Grand Palace, nandoon yung First Lady ng Peru. Isa-isa, ine-embrace yung mga candidates. Courtesy ko, naka-line up kami, beso-beso. Di ba, Peru ako. Yung before me is Papua.
Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, nung si Papua na, nakita ko yung mukha nung First Lady, parang
nandidiri.
Parang ayaw magpa-embrace. So, doon ko talaga nasilip yung racism.
Ikaw, nung humarap sa'yo?
Wala namang problem.
Wala naman.
Beso-beso pa rin siya. Pero nakita ko pag black candidates, parang may discomfort siya. To think, hindi pa puti yan, ha? Hispanic country yan. Yeah, Peru. Yeah, so doon ko nakikita na racism is very real. Yun ang mga unang mulat ng mata ko na these things are really happening with the world.
And up to now, syempre may mga Miss Universe pa.
You
still, pinapanood mo pa rin yung mga Miss Universe? Nakasubaybay ka pa rin?
Yeah, nakasubaybay pa rin ako sa Miss Universe. Aware pa rin ako sa nangyayari. I still cheer for our Filipino representative. Yeah. Kaya lang, there was a time na madalas every year umuwi ako sa Binibining Pilipinas to watch the coronation night. Tapos there was a time na pinagbawal ako ni Araneta.
Bakit?
Sa Araneta. Kasi
pinagbawal ka sa?
Pinagbawal ako umattend.
Huh?
Yeah. Kasi she doesn't like me eh. From the very first day, ayaw niya na talaga sa akin. Kasi sanay siya ng mga models ni Pitoy Moreno, sanay siya ng mga medyo elitistang I happen to be the girl from Balik-Balik, Sampaloc, Manila. Hindi ako ganun na elitista or ano. So, she doesn't want me attending I think that was the 50th year. So, ang ginawa niyon, she made sure na wala akong tickets. Ngayon, ang nangyari naman, si Gloria Diaz may extra ticket, binigyan ako ng ticket. So, naka-attend pa rin ako. Okay. Ang nangyari naman doon, nung night na yun sa Araneta, pinaalis niya ako sa silya ko.
Wow!
Yeah, ganun ka brutal.
Oh my gosh. So, anong ginawa mo?
Wala. Sabi ko, may ticket ako. Galing kay Gloria Diaz.
Siya mismo nagsabi sa'yo?
No,
yung mga tao niya?
Yung mga guard lumapit. Tapos pagpasok ko pa lang sa Araneta that night, parang nakakita ng ghost sila Liliana. She's not supposed to be here. Parang nagbubulungan, nakakita ng ghost. Kasi nga, they really tried their best na wag ako mabigyan ng ticket. And everybody else binigyan lahat. Parang reunion namin yun eh. Yeah, except for me. So, ang nangyari, nung pinapaalis ako, sabi ko, may ticket ako, pinakita ko. So, hindi nila ako mapaalis. Tinanong saan galing yung ticket ko. Kay Gloria Diaz, ayan no, tanong niyo si Gloria. Si Gloria judge noon. Kaya hindi rin siya makasagot. Hanggang sa natapos ko yung pageant. Pero after that, naging malaking issue yun. So I realized na, I guess, talagang hindi na ako pwedeng bumalik. It's a sad thing na, kasi ang saya-saya pagka coronation night ng Binibini, yung mga past winners dumarating, nagkikita-kita kami, reunion. It's a sad time for me na I couldn't go back. Ngayon, ito naman ang nakakatawa. Let me get this book. Kasi in-invite nila ako sa 60th year. So, I was in the States, tinawagan nila ako, tapos sabi nila sa akin na they wanted me in the coronation night. Kasi all the beauties in the past, some are flying in from abroad pa, are coming to Manila. Tapos sabi ko, bakit Stella Marquez will not be happy about that? Ang sabi naman sa akin ng staff, don't worry, Alzheimer's na si Stella Marquez. Kaya, kaya she may not remember anymore.
So, ano itong book na to?
Ito yung book na Beauty Ever After.
Andiyan ka?
Andito ako sa 1982.
Oh, nice. Lahat ng mga beauty queen nandito?
Lahat ng mga beauty queens nandito. This is 1981. So, nakakatuwa naman na nandito ako sa 1982.
Ganda naman ang libron to?
Yeah, it's a heavy book.
Oo.
Ito, 1982, that's me.
Ikaw yan.
Ito na ngayon yung present, how we look like. That's me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kailan ito lumabas?
Ito lang, year na to.
This year lang.
Diba, they celebrated this year the 60th year of Binibining Pilipinas. So, this is the first time in so many decades na in-invite nila ako. They contacted me pa nasa Amerika.
Sino-sino itong mga kasama rito?
Dito si Miss Lisa Manibog. She was my Binibining Pilipinas International. Tapos si Lisa Hino, she was the first runner-up. And then this is Nanette Cruz, Miss Maha Philippines.
Ito and kayo.
Si Sharon Georgina Hughes, she's Miss Young Philippines. Yeah, ito kaming apat. Yeah, that time meron pang Miss Maha, ngayon wala na Miss Maha. Tapos Miss International pa rin. So this book, from the very first Binibining Pilipinas, up to the most recent beauty queens, nakita mo sila Gloria, yung mga sinaunang Binibini.
Andyan lahat, ano?
Yeah, black and white photos pa. Hanggang sa pinaka-recent na pinapalabas na nila sila Pia Wurtzbach, nandito na sila.
Pia.
Yeah. So this is the coffee table book. Kumbaga from the past to the present, to the many years. Yeah. Tsaka during my time, I was the rebel queen. Pag sinabi nilang, huwag ka magsuot ng ganito, matigas din kasi ulo ko eh. Alam mo na, pasaway. So, suot pa rin ako ng plunging, suot pa rin ako ng... Kasi mahirap yung mahirap yung, hindi naman ako people pleaser. Na I will change who I am to please people. I just wanna be who I am. Hindi naman, we're not in the business of changing people naman or pleasing them.
Bakit ganyan ang personality mo? Saan nagagaling yan? Ano bang background mo?
I was born poor. Yeah.
Saan kayo lumaki?
Lumaki ako I was born in Cagayan de Oro, raised in Manila, in Balik-Balik. Kaya ako naging ganito, it's because I was always on survival mode. Kasi my father had other families. So he has to take care of the other families where he lives. Kaya yung sa amin, crumbs na lang nakukuha namin. Kumbaga, hirap kami lagi sa pera, hirap sa food, ganun. We always make tipid. Kaya I was always on survival mode. Yeah.
At kasama mo nanay mo ron?
Kasama ko yung mother ko. Yeah.
May
separated
ka?
Kasi sila. I have brothers and sisters. They're all very successful naman. They're all moved to the States.
Yeah. Anong trabaho ng nanay mo?
Ang mother ko is an opera singer. She sang at the Cultural Center of the Philippines. All the major operas. Kaya as expected, hindi naman mayaman ang opera singer. Kasi ang opera naman sa Philippines, seasonal. Tapos, ang regular job niya is a music teacher in a public school. Yeah, tapos ang dad ko is a lawyer. Kaya lang, syempre, may mga sinusuporta ang ibang anak. Syempre, kung saan siya nakatira, they get most of the better lives. Sa amin, crumbs na lang yung natitira.
Mga tira-tira na lang.
Yes. Kaya, kumbaga, siguro kaya naging ganito ako, I became such a fighter.
Survivor ka kasi.
Kasi nga, oo.
Gano'n kayo kahirap doon?
Naka-apartment kami na 150 pesos a month. Well, nung araw, medyo hindi naman siya masyadong miserable. It's just like a 3-door apartment. Ganon. Kaya lang, makikita mo na yung food, hinahati-hati talaga. Pagka may chicken, divided yan into 4 kids plus my mom. Yeah. Tapos bago kami kumain, tinitingnan namin kung alin yung pinakamalaking slice ng chicken dyan. Tapos laging ang fruits mo banana, hindi ka makapag-apple. Nakakapag-apple lang kami pag Christmas. Ganon.
Nakatapos ka rin na pag-aaral mo?
Yun lang pinakamagandang ginawa ng dad ko. They gave us an education. So I finished fine arts sa UP. Yeah, tapos my first job was as a fashion designer in Rustan's department store. Tapos second job ko, I was one of the fashion designers of SM group of companies. Yeah.
Paano ka napunta ng Gerard, Peter?
Maliit kasi ang sweldo pagka designer ka. Yeah, so ang ginawa ko, designer ako by day, sa gabi, nagsisexy model ako. Yeah.
Hindi ka nailang at first? Parang hindi ka komportable nung simula?
Komportable naman ako kasi alam ko naman I have the looks, I have the figure. Tsaka inunti-unti ka na nila. Kumbaga, when you're new in that Gerard Peter group, ang pagsisexy mo is tame muna sa umpisa. Little by little ka nila i-groom for the more daring outfits.
Ano pinaka-daring?
Well, yung bikini na see-through.
Ganun
bikini na see-through pa.
Bikini na see-through. Okay.
Yeah. Ganon.
Tapos habang...
Pero it was one of my fun days in my life. Nag-enjoy ako noon. Kasi I was with my sister. We're modeling together. Yeah.
Tapos pinapanood kayo ng mga lalaki?
Pinapanood kami, lalaki, babae.
Ano yung lunch ba yun? O dinner?
Dinner. May luncheon show, may dinner show. So ngayon, naapektuhan yung job ko by day. Kasi nga, medyo puyat ka sa gabi. Kaya pagdating sa daytime job ko, aapektuhan. So I decided to go full-time. Kasi yung work mo as a fashion designer, pag nag-work ka sa Gerard Peter, times 4 ang sweldo mo.
Laki, no?
Yeah, so sabi ko, magpo-full-time na lang ako dito kasi may lunch, may dinner. So I left my being a fashion designer in favor of being a Gerard Peter model. And hindi mo pwedeng isnabi ng Gerard Peter dahil dyan nanggaling lahat ng mga magagaling nating artista. Namely, Carmi Martin, hindi nila pwedeng i-deny yan. Si Emily Loren, si Liz Alindogan, sila Ana Marie Gutierrez, at marami pang iba. Barbara Benitez, galing lahat yan sa Gerard Peter. Yeah.
Wow.
Mga Dolphy's Angels. Yes.
So, nakuha ka na nga ng Viva. Anong una mong movie na ginawa?
Ang first movie ko is called Sana Bukas Pa Ang Kahapon. Kasama ko doon si Lorna Tolentino, si Hilda Coronel, tapos ako. Tapos nasundan yun ng Working Girls.
Yes, sikat yan.
Yeah. Alam mo naman, matunog yung Working Girls ng araw.
Sino-sino ang kasama ron?
Kasama ko sila Carmi, Baby Delgado, Chanda Romero, Hilda Coronel, Rio Locsin, ako, tapos sino pa ba? Basta, it's about women. Gina Pareño, 7 women. Yeah. So that was a hit before. Tapos after Working Girls, I was ripe na to be launched into full stardom via a very sexy film directed by Celso Ad Castillo. It's entitled Isla. Yeah.
Experimental Cinema of the Philippines to. Anong ginawa mo ron? Gano'n ka-sexy?
Frontal nudity.
Wow.
For the first time in the history of Philippine cinema. I was the first woman na may frontal. Kasi may underwater shot na nagsiswimming ako under the water. It's about an island girl na minomolest siya ng kanyang grandfather. Yeah, so yun ang story.
Ano naging impact nung paghubad mo na yun?
Well, ang nangyari is, during the time of the Marcoses, tinayo nila yung experimental cinema of the Philippines as a form of alternative cinema na walang censorship. So, it was also used as a political tool during the time of the Marcoses para ma-address yung pagiging restless ng mga Pilipinos. Parang
may libangan ng mga
diversionary tactic. Yeah. So ngayon, nung pinalabas yon, yung mga tao talaga hanggang labas ng cinema, mula from Manila Film Center hanggang PICC, ganun ang pila. They were like so hungry for movies na walang censorship. Yeah. So ngayon, naging very successful yun. Nasundan pa yun ng maraming ECP films. Pinalabas dyan yung Boatman, Scorpion Nights, dyan din pinalabas. Yeah. Tapos there was a time na binigyan ako ng reception sa Malacanang. about the success of ECP, Imelda Marcos was there to welcome me. So I went pa nga to Malacanang. That time, I didn't know it was being used as a political tool.
Ano naging effect doon sa career mo?
Well, nasundan yon ng one film after another. I had 2 films shown at the Manila Film Center. The other one was Hubo sa Dilim. I was playing naman a call girl that time. Yeah,
so mga ganyan, no? Mga daring roles.
Medyo typecasted. Yeah, tapos nasundan na yun ng marami pang films like Dingding Lang ang Pagitan. Nasundan pa yan ng Nakaw na Sandali, ang mga title talaga.
Ang classification dyan ng time na yan, bold. Bold movies.
Yes.
Para ba yung evolution ng mga sexy movies sa pagkakaalam mo?
Well, nag-umpisa yan nung 60s, merong Bomba Days, mga Merly Fernandez Days. Pero syempre, hindi ko pa napanood yun kasi paslit pa ako ng araw. Tapos nagkaroon ng Wet Look. That was the time naman na si Gloria Diaz and Elizabeth Oropesa nagpakita ng Wet Look. Yeah, tapos nasundan niya nung 80s na experimental cinema of the Philippines na talagang pa-bold na ng pa-bold, pa-sexy na ng pa-sexy. Tapos may ST pa, ST movies or sex strip films. Yeah.
Tapos may pene pa.
Tapos magkaroon ng penetration yan later. Kasi you always have to outdo each other, di ba? Mga producers, discover. And then, nung nag-evolve na yan, I realized I wasn't getting any younger. So, ang mga kasabayan ko, mga Lalamon Tiliban na, I was 26, sila
15 lang yata. 15, 16, no?
Kumbaga 10 years my junior na yung mga kasabayan ko. Pero sabi ko, bakit kaya sa edad ko to, I was already mid-20s, nandiyan pa rin yung producers getting me. So, na-extend ko yung pagiging sexy ko for 10 years. I would say, siguro with pride, I would say, yun yung pinakamatagal na. Kasi sabi nila, if you're a sexy star, you're only good for 2 or 3 movies or even 1 movie pa lang. Parang tissue paper ang tingin nila sa mga sexy stars. Tissue paper, gagamitin mo, bunot ka, singahan mo, tapon mo ng gano'n. Kasi they're always looking for younger, fresher, newer faces. Pero na-extend ko pa yung lifespan ng pagiging sexy star ko until the day I was already in my 30s. I was already getting married to my first husband. May love scene pa akong ginawa with Erap in this political film, Sa Kuko ng Agila, where I played the girlfriend of Erap in Subic. It's an anti-basis film na ginawa ni Erap to boost his presidential bid. Yeah. So sabi ko, ikakasal na ako. I was still doing that film. Tapos nun sabi ko, I'm gonna be retiring at 40. Yeah. I could still transition to mother roles. I could still transition to being leading lady ng mga action stars, gano'n. Pero sabi ko, 40, kasi the whole time na sikat ako, Julius, talaga nakatatak dito sa, sa forehead ko na has been. Kasi I know na hindi to forever. So I really made sure na I really asked for a fat talent fee. Tapos laging ang mga offers ko, talagang sinisigil ko yan. Hindi ako pumapayag na mababa lang. I turn down films pagka masyadong mababa. Ganon. Talagang I really made sure na nag-ipon ako. I look at it this way. Yung paggawa ko ng pelikula is only for the money. Tapos at 40, I'm gonna retire. Now, fast forward tayo to what happened.
Teka muna, hindi ka ba na-offera ng penny movies?
Hindi ako na-offera.
No one dared?
No one dared. Nahihiya silang i-offer sa akin. Kasi nga Miss Philippines ako. Kaya lang may mga irresponsible producers na yung mga pelikula pag pinapalabas sa probinsya, nagsisingit sila.
Dinadaya.
Oo, sumisingit sila ng ibang klaseng footages, ini-insert lang nila yon. Pero ibang actor na yon, kumukuha na.
Pero akala nung nanonood, ikaw yun.
Akala lang ng mga manonood, ikaw yun. Yeah. Pero mahihiya silang i-offer sa akin. Tsaka ako, very strict ako sa film ko. Meron ako laging breakdown. Merong isang love scene, isang shower scene, tapos halimbawa maghihingi pa yung producer ng swimming pool scene. Sabihin ko, may shower scene na, may swimming pool scene pa, tanggalin nyo na yan. I can demand. Yeah. So, ang gumagawa ng mga scenes na mga mas daring, yung mga support ko.
Mga mas bago-bago.
Mas bago-bago, tsaka mga willing and able sila to make it. Dahil, when I was 50 years old, ginawa ko yung Kinatay with Brillante Mendoza. May topless na naman doon. Kaya, kumbaga, ginawa ko rin yung Kutsera. Kumbaga, hindi pa rin ako makaalis sa ganung klaseng image. Yeah.
At 50,
50 plus na ako
50 plus na.
Yeah.
Pero nakaipon ka?
Nakaipon naman ako.
Yun, kasi you made sure na hindi ka
kasi I made sure na makapag-invest ako sa real estate, na I could live off sa mga rentals, gano'n. Gano'n ang ginawa ko.
Good, no? So, tuloy-tuloy pa rin. Yung pag-artista mo.
Tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung pag-artista. Hanggang ngayon, nag-artista pa rin ako.
Itong Japanese husband mo, tama?
Yeah,
husband,
the first husband.
Saan kayo nagkakilala?
Nag-meet kami sa Japan. Yeah. So, na-meet ko siya sa Japan, tapos he followed me in the Philippines. Tapos yung mother I have 2 kids from him, si Mara and si Ken. And we're friends now, kahit annulled yung marriage namin.
That's good.
Yeah.
Si Mara ay Japanese citizen?
No, Mara is an American citizen. She was born in the US.
Okay.
My son naman, si Ken, was born in Japan, so Japanese citizen. Pinaghandaan ko yung citizenship ng mga anak ko kasi ayoko yung parang nagmamakaawa sila for a visa. Yeah, like si Ken, Japanese passport, visa waiver lang. Tapos si Mara, American citizen, she has passports to travel around the world without begging for a visa.
Bakit hindi kayo nagtagal ng husband mo?
Bipolar kasi siya. Alam mo naman ang bipolar, very unstable emotionally. May highs and lows. Yeah, tapos there was so much cases of serial infidelity pag nasa manic mode siya. Kaya hindi kami nagtagal. 15 years din, that's a long time.
Sa bagay, no?
Matagal na rin yun.
And then what happened nung naghiwalay kayo?
Well, he went back to Japan. Tapos ako naman, I married my new husband.
Ito na.
Husband number 2.
Yes. Ito na. Saan mo siya nakilala?
Nag-meet kami online. It's in a website called Match.com. I was in the Philippines that time. Tapos yung sister ko sa Sacramento, California, siya yung nag-aayos ng profile ko. Siya yung naglagay ng profile, siya yung nag-approve ng mga inquiries, nag-reject ng mga...
So naghahanap ka talaga ng partner?
Yeah, I was single. Yeah. Tapos yung sister ko naghahanap for me. So I met him. He was already a pancreatic cancer survivor.
Survivor na.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So God's gift to you is Isabel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And continues giving.
Yeah. And I continue to monitor his health. Yeah, I make sure he eats well, he eats right. Siyempre, para long life, we have more years together.
Filipinos are such good caregivers.
Yeah.
There's so much compassion.
Yeah. You're lucky with your wife. She's very beautiful.
Well, that's the bonus.
And she loves you very much.
I'm also lucky with him.
Okay. Lucky because?
Because he loves me. Yeah.
Saan ang kiss dyan? Para sa mga fans. Iyon, no?
Actually, we've known each other for 10 years. And married for 5 years.
Nice.
So there's no secrets.
But no more baby. No more.
No.
Cannot get it anymore.
We look forward to having grandchildren.
Grandchildren. That's what you're looking forward to.
Now the turn for the kids to do the work.
Yeah.
Happy ka naman sa life mo ngayon?
Yes,
ganyan?
very peaceful.
Very peaceful?
Very peaceful. Yeah.
Pero namimiss mo rin siyempre yung mga kaguluhan sa Pilipinas.
Yeah, namimiss ko siyempre. That's the reason why pumipili pa rin ako ng project. Umuwi ako to do a project. Pero sabi ng husband ko, hindi mo kailangan magtanggap ng movie because you need to work. You need to have a movie. You just choose the project that you're passionate about.
Napag-usapan natin yung mga success mo sa buhay at yung mga challenges na pinagdaanan mo. Pero meron bang dark period sa life mo? Yung tipong...
Meron mga dark periods.
Like ano naiisip mo kapag
like yung dark periods sa life ko, like when I went through this serial infidelity from my husband, those were very dark moments. Kasi there's so much cheating na nangyayari pag nasa manic mood yung asawa ko na bipolar. So those are like very difficult times. Kasi galing na ako sa dysfunctional family, ayoko mangyari sa akin yung dysfunctional din yung family na hiwalay din. So I tried to break that pattern, kaya lang hindi talaga maiwasan eh. So I had to accept na parang if it's not working anymore, it's time to move on. You don't have to stay in one place na miserable ka. So yun din ang advice ko sa a lot of my friends, na kung miserable ka, whether it's something na masakit sa ulo, whether it's makina or gamit mo or kotse, pag masakit sa ulo, get rid of it.
Being in the movies, klase ng buhay meron mga celebrities noon, may mga ano ba, nagyaya sa'yo na mag-drugs o mag-bisyo?
Nag-experiment kami. We just try. Siyempre, kasama yun sa kasama yun sa industry. Yeah, you just try it, but you don't have to have a serious relationship. Kung baka tikim mo lang. Huwag mong seryosohin. Yeah. Tsaka mahirap ako gawing addict. You know why? Because I refuse to pay. Ang mindset ko is this. It's your privilege to jam with me and get to squeeze a part of my brain. It's your privilege na ma-squeeze mo yung brain ko, maka-jam mo ko. Bakit ako gagastos? So, mahirap ako gawing addict because I refuse to spend. Ako sa mga mahirap lokohin. Kailangan magaling ka para maloko mo ko.
So, habang active ka sa movies at habang nagmamature yung mga roles mo sa movies, ang nanay mo nasaan?
Ang mother ko was still,
Ikaw nag-aalaga sa kanya?
Oo, doing concerts. Nagko-concert pa rin siya kasi nga opera singer siya. Sinubsidize ko yung mga konserto niya kasi nga, she's an artist. Yeah, and she's one of the foremost mezzo-sopranos. I produce her shows sa mga auditoriums. Yeah. Sinusuportahan ko.
Buhay pa ba si nanay?
Wala, she passed away at 95. So blessed siya with long life. Yes. Hopefully, ma-bless din ako ng long life. And my dad naman is a lawyer. My dad passed away in his 70s.
Mas bata, ano?
Oo, mas bata. Yeah. Tsaka marami kasing asawa, kaya mas stressful ang buhay.
Hindi mo ba namana yung galing ng nanay mo sa pagkanta?
Well, kung naman ako, di wala na sila Bernie Varga at Puri Desma. Kung naman ako yun. Yeah. Pero I was gifted naman by God. Grateful naman ako.
Arts pa rin.
Ako ng nasa arts. Yeah. I continue to do my art. Tapos I do mga commissioned works while in the US. Ganon. So it's all over the US yung artwork ko.
So anong pakiramdam mo na mag-aasawa na yung anak mo?
Siyempre, I'm excited because she found a great guy. Yeah. And then it's very reassuring for me na my daughter is gonna be with this guy who's so grounded, who's so loving. Yeah. Yung parang hindi ako worried. Kasi meron mga pagulang na kinakasal, worried sila sa choices na ginawa ng anak nila. I think my daughter made a very good choice. And they're both lucky to find each other. Anyway, I'm so excited for Mara's upcoming wedding. Yes.
Wait, kailan to secret pa yun?
Mother of the bride.
Ano magiging wedding mo? Anong motive mo? Anong theme?
It's an island destination wedding.
We're gonna be in a super small island sa El Nido.
Pangulasya.
It's intimate wedding lang, 60 people. 60 people, family.
And family from Texas, they're flying in.
Pero lahat ng friends namin from
London, from Canada, London,
Manila,
Australia are flying in.
Yung mga bridesmaids ko from Manila, from Australia, Canada, Austin. Parang from all over the world. So nakakatuwa na lahat lumipad for the wedding.
So where do you plan to live? Once you're married.
Honeymoon muna. Saan ang honeymoon?
We live together already in New York.
Where? In New York?
Yes.
How's your life in New York?
I love our life in New York. Pero I always escape the winter. So we're so lucky kasi yung job ng husband ko, he has a remote job. So minsan nakaka-escape talaga kami ng winter. And si mom, she's just 5 hours away. California si mama. Lagi siyang dumadalaw. Tapos lagi ka rin kaming dumadalaw sa California.
Kailan ka pa umalis ng Pilipinas?
Before the pandemic.
COVID.
COVID.
Right?
Yeah, when Manila was gonna shut down, that was the time Mara left. Kasi di ba isasara na ang Manila because of COVID.
Tapos noon, nung nag-calm na yung COVID, pabalik-balik rin.
Pabalik-balik naman.
Nakapag-shoot pa ako ng isang film na yung lockdown pa. Yung hindi ka pwede, yung pag nag-shoot ka.
Lock-in taping. Lock-in tapings.
So in New York, you're a Broadway actress? Gano'n ba yun? O theater?
I just did my first play, so let's not get too excited. Si Mama talaga. Off-Broadway. No, that was my first play. It was a 10-minute one-woman show. And then...
And you played the role of?
Let's not talk about that now. But
she played the role of Imelda and Cory Aquino.
Parang one-woman show siya. And then yung film, na upcoming film, right after the wedding, so December, I'm doing a short film. And the director's, it's called Right, and the director's Filipina, and she wants to give honor to her grandmother's memories. So I'm the lead actress for that short film.
Nice.
So yeah, excited. Exciting time.
Exciting things ahead.
Yeah.
Saan mo na-meet ang husband mo?
Na-meet ko yung husband ko sa, hindi mo lang nakapag-ayos ng hair. I met my husband sa wedding ng pinsan ko sa Austin.
Okay.
So, date ako ni Mama.
That was before the pandemic.
Yeah. 5 years na kami actually. We've been together for 5 years. And
then since that time, they quarantined together. Hindi na sila naghiwalay. Julius, I'd like to talk about my last film.
Sige.
Yeah. Itong last film ko, showing siya next week.
Okay.
Film
Anong
next.
title nito?
It's called Diamonds in the Sand. The Japanese title is Kodokushi. So yung role ko dito is that of a caregiver ng nursing home sa Japan. So I had to study the script for 2 months. Binigyan nila ako ng tutor kasi 95% Japanese yung script. Tapos ang story niyan is nasa Japan ako nag-work as a caregiver. Alaga ko itong matanda. Tapos nung namatay yung matanda, yung anak came to get the body. So yung anak, nagkaroon kami ng friendship. Tapos when I left for the Philippines, itong Japanese guy followed me from Japan. Tapos dito nagpatuloy yung aming parang relationship na senior citizen love story. So the Japanese title is Kodokushi. It's called The Lonely Death. Kasi sa Japan, usong-uso yung mga tao na nakikita na lang sa bahay, naaagnas na yung katawan. It's called lonely death. Walang relatives na kumukuha, wala nang na-discover na lang, nangangamoy na.
Lungkot naman.
It's called lonely death. So this Japanese actor, si Lily Frankie, he's very famous in Japan. Siya yung gumanap na yung love interest ko doon. Tapos ngayon, natakot siyang tumanda na mag-isa. Yeah.
Kaya nagkatuluyan kayong dalawa?
Parang nagkaroon kami ng relationship. So, yung sa mga friends ko sa Japan, showing next week, yung pelikula na Diamonds in the Sand, directed to by Janus Victoria with Japanese actor Lily Frankie. And it's gonna be under the Tokyo Filmex.
Is it going to be shown in the Philippines?
It will be shown eventually after the Japan.
Alright.
So, kumbaga, namimili pa rin ako ng project.
Active ka pa rin hanggang ngayon.
Kung worth doing. Hindi ko nga akalain, I'm already 67.
Paano kung inoferan ka ng sexy film? O kunyari, mature, sexy film.
Depende sa content.
Open ka pa rin, ha?
Dahil kayang-kaya ko pang mag-sexy.
Oo naman. Hindi ba magsiselos to asawa mo?
Hindi. It's very understanding. I'm blessed to have my husband.
That you found your soulmate, no?
Yes.
In your husband.
Yeah.
Nung time mo ba ang Miss Universe, big deal na yan? As in, pinagkakaguluhan na talaga yan?
Mas big deal ngayon.
Oo, iba ngayon no? Parang lahat
I guess kasi mas marami rin ngayon ng mga beauty pageant enthusiasts, hindi kagaya nung araw.
What's your take on dun sa mga enhancement sa beauty?
Nung time kasi namin, yung mga beauty queens, organic Walang enhancement nung araw, hindi uso nung araw. At saka nung time namin, pag nagpatangos ka ng ilong, talagang sobrang tinatago, kumbaga, masyadong big deal. Sinisikreto yun pag nagpagawa ka ng ilong mo. Hindi gaya ngayon na open ang
ikaw, wala ka talagang retoke at all.
Yung mga beauty queens nung araw, organic talaga.
Parang fair ba yun na pag ginagawa yung mukha? Di ba? Parang, di ba dapat organic talaga?
Wala tayong magagawa kasi trend na rin yun Pati nga sa Philippines, ang trend natin ngayon nagkakaroon ng mix. Hindi mo ba napansin nung araw, pag tinignan mo itong libro na to, makikita mo ang beauty ng Filipina, talagang more Filipina beauty. Wala ka halos makitang mestiza.
True.
Tapos pag pumunta ka sa later page, makikita mo na halos close to perfect na nahaluan na ng Western blood. Kaya talagang nag-evolve na ang ilong kahit hindi ka na magpatangos, naturally matangos dahil mix na ng Australian, may German, tapos may American.
Ngayon, African-American naman.
Oo, African-American. Kumbaga mix.
Mix na.
Yeah.
So, okay sa'yo yun? Ganon?
Okay lang yun. It's part of the tradition. Part ng tradition.
Saka nagbabago talaga
they also fared well sa international competitions. Yeah. Pero nung araw, nakita mo si Melanie Marquez, walang retoke yan. Talagang really beautiful.
Anong opinion mo sa pagpasok ng mga trans women sa beauty contest? What's your take on that?
Ang take ko nito is, may mga beauty pageants for them. So, I would say na mas maganda na kung yung beauty pageant ng Miss Gay Philippines, yun sana ma-revive nila. Kasi yun ang para sa kanila. Tapos ang sa Miss Binibining Pilipinas, yun yung sa mga babae talaga. Yeah.
What about married women? Moms joining mga Miss Universe?
Well, if you still have the looks, and if you have the talents and yung bearing ng beauty queen, kahit mother ka na, it doesn't make any difference. Yeah, for me, you're still a woman.
Yeah. Kasi ganyan naman talaga mindset mo Even during your younger days, talagang parang you were advanced, ahead of your time. Sa
halimbawa,
thinking.
single mom ka or mother of 2 or 3, as long as you still have the looks, and you're smart, and you can carry yourself as a beauty queen. Pwede naman Yeah.
Wala kang regret sa pagiging outspoken mo at matigas ang ulo?
Kumbaga, bakit ko naman, kumbaga para naman ni-reject ko na yung sarili ko. Kung magre-regret ako, how I am, na ganito ako. Yeah. Sabi ko nga sa'yo, we're not in the business of pleasing people. Yeah. Nakakapagod yun. You're gonna be walking on eggshells. Oo.
Pero maraming gano'n na yung sunod-sunuran lang sa mga sa mga nag-uutos sa kanila.
Kung magkaka-nervous breakdown ka naman in the end.
Anong payong maibibigay mo sa mga gustong maging beauty queens balang araw? Sa mga gusto sumali sa mga beauty contest?
Syempre maganda rin na, kasi lahat yan beauty of face and figure. It's a given na maganda yung katawan mo, maganda yung mukha mo. So I would say maganda rin na they keep abreast with the current events, with what's happening with the world. Yeah, para nagkakaiba kasi yan minsan kasi sa looks, pag nakita mo yung mga candidates na yan, halos magaganda lahat yan eh. Maganda rin yung personality, yung well-rounded sila, they can converse on anything under the sun. So maganda yung aware sila sa current events nangyayari sa mundo, aware sila ng mga may genocide na nangyayari sa Gaza, yung awareness ba, tapos maganda rin may political awareness sila. Tsaka nalalaman nila yung mga nangyayari sa grassroots. Hindi yung alam mo lang puro pagpapaganda. Kasi ang beauty, hindi naman talagang habang buhay ang nasa iyo eh. Tatanda ka rin. Pero maganda rin yung i-develop mo yung mind mo, yung know-how mo on things. At tsaka yung psychology mo on people. Yun.
Sa mga tagahanga mo, ano gusto mong sabihin? Na sumuporta sa'yo through the years sa pinanood ng mga pelikula mo?
Gusto ko sabihin, nandito ulit ako sa Pilipinas. Yeah. Alive and kicking. Yeah. That's why nagpapasalamat nga ako itong uwi ko na ito eh. Ikaw kaagad ang una ko nakasalamuha. Tapos I would also advise women out there who are dreamers na don't be afraid to dream, pursue your passions, just be willing to pay the price. Kasi lahat yan eh, there's a price to pay for. Yeah. Like ako, nag-sexy star ako. Siyempre, may price to pay for yan. You're often judged, you're often misunderstood. Yeah.
Well, congratulations sa iyong napakagandang buhay. May mga ups and downs, pero in the end, ang importante, masaya ka.
Congratulations to you. May you have many more subscribers.
Oh yeah, thank you. Thanks to you at sa mga guests natin. Thank you.
Yes, thank you then.
See you again soon,
Sino ang papansin sa daing ng api?
Sino ang mag-uwi sa nilokot pinabayaan?
AXIS ang umaaksyon dito.
Si Erwin Tulfo ay maasahan din ninyo, garantisado. Kami ang kakampi ng inaapi.
Are you familiar with the brand, Hermes? Kung medyo newbie pa kayo dito sa brand na to at kung ano ng mga designs meron ng Hermes, take it away, Ted. Okay, Ted.
Hello guys, welcome here at Exquisite Manila. I will show you some Hermes models and leathers and hardwares that we have here in the shop. Let's start with the classic ones, which is a Birkin. So these Birkins, they have different sizes, no, Mamu? We have the size 35.
Yan ba pinakamalaki? 35?
No, may 40, may 50, may 55, but these are for traveling already, no? So this is ito yung usong-uso dati, yung unang sumikat ang Hermes dito sa Pilipinas. Size 35.
Julius and Tintin para sa pamilyang Pilipino would like to thank the following.
Pure Gold. Sa Pure Gold, always panalo.
David Salon. Whoever you are, whatever you do, David Salon brings out the best in you.
Raja Travel Corporation. With you on your journey.
Baby Co Wipes. Bida si baby sa alagang Baby Co Wipes. Cupid's Cologne Love Mist. To order, message TonyBBabaw@gmail.com.
Enagic from Japan. Kangen Water Machine.
Goldmine Rice. From farm to market. Be a rice distributor to wholesalers, retailers, and consumers. Open for franchise.